Today we will be reviewing one of the DroidApps and its functionality. In this particular instance, we will be taking a look at the ability to take a video with a voice and background and changing that voice to a specific voice that you've cloned via 11 Labs, as well as adding background music all in one step with one node in N8N. So why don't we get started? First, I'll direct you to our website, DroidApps.one. If you take a look at the website, what I personally like to do first is go straight to the API docs. In the API docs, what we'll look at is we're going to see a number of the functions that or apps that the website provides. I'm going to scroll down to the one that states redub underscore VC or voice conversion. In essence, the redub underscore TTS, text to speech, and redub underscore VC are all very similar applications. In this particular instance, we're going to be loading a video, and that's why there's a voice conversion, actually, because there's already an existing voice. But in essence, the functionality for these three are very similar. Typically, I'll select the redub voice, and what you'll see is it's got a number of parameters. Some of these parameters are more relevant to our use than others, and we're going to see that in the node. I would say the one to pay attention to is the URL. This is the URL of the video file that you will be processing. The voice ID is the 11 Labs voice ID that you've created, and the me underscore file, which is the file that you are going to share if it's a file, or me underscore URL if you're going to share a file with background music or background sound. But why don't we get started and let's jump right into it. Um, Typically, what you'll see here is at the bottom is a curl. You can typically copy this curl and create your node from this curl. I'm going to jump into N8N. In N8N, we're going to see its functionality. This is a listing of the different functions and applications that are available through the app. I'm going to zoom in to a set node that I have created here, as well as the node that accesses the Droid app via API, as well as 11 Labs. If you look at the edit field, what I'm going to do initially is I'm going to share the video that contains the original recording. And in addition to that, I've loaded that through Cloudinary. I'm also going to share the video that I will be using as background music. Okay, so I will run this. It's pinned right here because I did this earlier today, but I will rerun it so you could see the output. Let's see here. Here is the output that was generated. Basically, it's just setting the information up for us. We could take a look at this here in schema. Here's the original file, and here's the background music. And I'm going to jump into now the actual file that was generated and the node, more specifically the node. So if we look from left to right, we prepared the information, we've shared the information with the two files, and let's take a look at the node here. I imported the curl, I select usually import, and I copy and paste the curl, and it typically preloads most of this information. So from top to bottom, let's scroll through. This is a post. We're going to the redub underscore VC is the URL that we will be sending our message to. And these API keys will be disabled, but in essence, here is the API key for the DroidApps website. And below that is my 11 Labs key, which I will also be disabling after this recording. but in essence, this is to be able to access my voices that I have set up already in 11 Labs. All right, I'll continue to scroll down. Um, in terms of what information is being sent, here are some of the parameters. Here is the voice ID, and here's the voice ID number. If we go to 11 Labs, here's my 11 Labs account. What you can see is under my voices, I've got these voices that I've created and I've cloned, right? So I believe this is Bella 2 or Bella A. Typically, I come in here, I select copy voice ID, and I would come back into the node here and paste it. Now let's continue down and let's look at some of these other items here. Here is the model ID. This is a standard 11 Labs model that's available. And as we look at the next set of parameters, background source external. This is basically advising that I will be putting in an external MP3 in essence. So it's prepping the information, advising the system to let it know that there will be an external MP3 background music. The next parameter is removing the background noise. So here there's a couple of different options. I've selected option 1, which removes the background noise from the original video. And here are your two key parameters. First is URL, which I mentioned earlier as one of the key parameters. This parameter is actually loading in the original file that was coming in from Cloudinary. And then below it is the me underscore URL, which actually has my background music. So I've executed this step. Um, as you can see, it's already given me my message here, status 200, and this took literally less than 10 seconds to process. And here is my link. I've kind of saved this work already so that you guys can see it in one step, but let me take you to the files so that you can actually see what they looked like. So the first file is the original file that's in Cloudinary, and let's take a listen.
Every detail tells a story. This piece is crafted with care, and it fits seamlessly into a life where intention matters.
Great. So this is a UGC video in which a woman is marketing the product. And that was the original AI generated video using VO 3.1, correct? Or actually in this case it was WAN 2.5. Now, what we want to do is if you have a UGC character that you want to have consistent voice, we want to make sure that you create your clone voice and that you do this in one step. It's pretty seamless. So let me show you the output of the video. So here is the output of the video, and let's listen.
Every detail tells a story. This piece is crafted with care, and it fits seamlessly into a life where intention matters.
Great. So as you can see, what we've done is we've gone ahead and used our own clone voice so that we assign that character a consistent voice ID. And in addition, we were also able to add a little bit of background music. We could have changed the music. We could have changed it to a different environment sounds. Whatever it is that you would like, just make sure that you load your MP3 with the same time horizon that your original video is. So this video was 10 seconds, therefore we loaded a 10-second MP3. I'll play it one more time just so that you guys see that.
Every detail tells a story. This piece is crafted with care, and it fits seamlessly into a life where intention matters.
So I think one of the other observations is look at the perfect lip sync. The person is speaking, it came in, and it replaced it with our desired clone voice, and it was perfectly lip synced. So that gives you an example of how it works. And I think that that brings an end to this particular session. I hope you find this tool useful. Thank you.